I'm Evelyn Floy Walter Wieting. I married Merlin Alfred Wieting from New Holstein. Before I married Merlin, he was a farmer working, and then he wasn't happy. Farming was hard, I guess, and the farmers were not making much money at that time. He didn't like it, and Gladys Geldy, who was his teacher, told me that when he was in 7th grade, he told her he was going to be a funeral director, and she didn't believe it. So the opportunity arose for him to help Harvey Techman out. Really liked it, and he was good at it. He and Harvey worked together. He did his, he was one of the last people in the state that was allowed to do their apprenticeship and correspondent classes. It was outlawed after that. You had to go to school. So he never went to school. He did. I was his teacher. I would sit, have my books, chemistry books and all this stuff on the windowsill and questioning him. We do dishes. And but he made it. 1953, he got his license. He would never have survived without me. I made up excuses for him. I wrote his speeches. I wouldn't have survived without him either, though. Yeah, he died young. Workaholic, I think. If he ever sat down, he fell asleep. 1957, we sold our share to Techman. Mr. Licker was selling here, and he thought he would be perfect for Brillion and jumped at the chance to do it. Took a leap of faith. There was a small furniture store here in Brillion, what Mr. Licker had, but at that time they used to make the caskets here too. So furniture and caskets sort of went together after we bought the place. He was there every single day, and he became just such a special person to me, because he tells about how they used to take the caskets on the trains, and if they would have a funeral in Forest Junction, they would load the casket on the train, take it to Forest Junction, have the service there, or the burial or whatever, and how they opened the graves. They always had the neighbors come and dig the graves with a shovel. In winter, they built a bonfire on the ground over the grave the night before. Then the next day they could dig it. And he used to have a kit that he could go and embalm the person at the house. Well, at the time when we came here, the ambulance service was run by Horn Ford. The Horns were getting older and they didn't want to do it anymore. They said, well, who could take it over? Who's always available? The funeral director, of course. He's always on call. So we would always have somebody at the phone, always available. So they said, well, why don't you take it over? Okay. Merlin was game to do anything. But it was all volunteer. Everything was volunteer. I had a list of people that I could call. If one wasn't available, somebody else might be. It was mighty hairy at times to find somebody that was available. It happened that Earl Pfeffer in Chilton was going to retire, and we went out on the limb and bought the Pfeffer funeral. Well, then at the same time, Reedsville came up for sale, just about the same time. And I'm so thankful that the kids followed in the footsteps. When I'm out and about, I can't tell you, Daniel, especially Daniel, how many times people say to me, you have the most wonderful grandson. And Jamie too, they say. I said, I know.
How did you feel when you found out Daniel was interested in being a funeral director?
I was very happy. He takes after his grandpa and his dad. I just think that God just put things in our path that we were supposed to do. There was no reason for me to come to this area. Why did I come? I think it was in God's plan. That's the way I feel about everything. And I just feel that I have been blessed beyond blessing. Times change. But I've had a very, very good life. Very, very good life.